folks, this is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 9 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone had a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great night, folks, and it's a TGIF. Let's make it a great weekend. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Create the perfect relationship between you and your body. Treat your body with all your love, honor, gratitude, and respect. When you make it a goal to adore your body and accept yourself completely, you'll learn that you have the perfect relationship with anyone else you are with. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow Industrials down 205, NASDAQ off 67, S&P's off 25, gold contract down $21, trading at $1,723 an ounce. Silver off 76 cents at $32.10 an ounce. Platinum down 20 at $1,620 an ounce. Copper smoked down 11 pennies at $3.63 a pound. Light sweet crude off $2 at $90.33 a barrel. Bonds up 1.5 ticks at 147.17. King dollar up 28 ticks, trading out at 79.70. King dollar once again rejected lower price on the daily, on the weekly, all of the above. Euro down 44 ticks at 130.24, and the yen up 2 ticks, trading at 79.30. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world? In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? Well, we are at 1435 cash S&P. The swing point out here is 1425. We had huge expansion in volume today. We did 921 million. It looks that the S&P, the cash S&P, the future S&P, is set up to jump this creek. And the creek is set up at the 1430 level, folks. 1430, 1425. And a jump of that creek, by the way, okay, will bring you down to the 1390 in a heartbeat. I mean a heartbeat, too. That's your S&P. We go look at the Dow Industrials. What we have inside the Dow Industrials is this. Same setup. This is a dangerous setup, by the way, folks, okay? The reason it's a dangerous setup is that it's a dangerous setup in the aspect that how fast the velocity of the move can be. The Dow down $200. Not that's not a huge amount. It's a good amount. Bottom line though, it's more so as to where it closed at. We closed at 13,343. Well, guess what? The creek is set up at 13,325. It wants to jump the creek. You are back inside the May, not yet. That's 13,338 is that May area. Okay, NASDAQ Composite. Now you're talking a mess. NASDAQ Composite. What do we have? NASDAQ Composite blows away a B point with volume, accelerates down $67. We're at 3005. Now the composite wants to run down to the lows that were generated out there in June. The ABC structure on the way down has about another $30 to go. That's only a 1-to-1, by the way. ABC structure on the way down. If we go to the SPY, you take a look at the SPY. What we have with the SPY is this. The SPY did 175 million shares today. Well, guess what? It's only going against 124 and 146. The SPY also wants to jump the creek on the way down. We go look at the diamonds. And it's all of the above, folks. It's all over the place. The diamonds did 10 million shares. She was going against the expansion of volume of 10 million. It's going to Marktown is here, folks, and it's going to blow it away. The Qs did an ABC structure on the way down, blew out the B point extraordinaire. The B point on the Qs on the way down was all of 26 million. We did 62 million shares. On the way down. The Qs are on. We're at 65, 68 right now. They're on their way back down to the $60 level. Now, inside the NDX 100, of course, we know what it's all about. Good old Apple. Apple, toasted, roasted, all of the above. Huge expansion of volume, 26 million shares. Apple right now is at 609. Apple's on its way down to 534. So it's a big number all across the board. Apple should get a little support down at the 570, but you know what? It's done. Google's also done, folks. Google, talk about a classic. So Google got to a price point of 705 today, couldn't handle that. It's at 681. And now, we start bringing up some of these weeklies. You'll see what kind of action you actually have on it. Google now has volume off the high, okay? Big deal. Volume off a high, folks, sets up much larger corrections. That's what you got to wrap your head around here, okay? And what Google did this week, off the high, so picture this. Google made a high. Well, here, I'm going to bring it all the way back because then we can really get our head wrapped around it, okay? Because if you remember what Google had done a false break topside. That false break topside was, I think it was 747. Yeah, it was 747.24. So picture what you had. On a weekly basis, we had 53 million shares going all the way back to November of 07. So 50 million shares, 53 million to be exact, $747.24 was the high. It takes that out, and now the correlation takes it out with 22 million. So picture, you get 22 million versus the, what I say, 54 million or 70 million? Versus 53. Okay, so 22 versus 53. So what that means is that you had less people in the store by over 50%, paying for the product, and what always happens? Forget it. If you're in the same store, folks, and we're all looking at each other, there's no way that if you saw half the amount of people in that store that you'd pay more money for the product. It just wouldn't happen. Bottom line, that's what you have. What ends up happening afterward? Boom. Okay? Downtown, extraordinary volume. We did 31 million shares this week on the way down. What does that set up? That sets up, let me see this thing. It sets up, it's a 4 number. That's what it comes down to. The first setup is 550. Not the end of the world. 550 is the first setup. We put this on a monthly. We bring this back on a monthly. And what is sticking out there on the monthly is that 416 area. So that can happen, and it can happen pretty quickly. We go over to the Dow Industrials. The volume downtown is everywhere, folks. GE. What does GE do? GE comes down 78 cents. Not that that's a lot of cents, but guess what? Blew out volume also. Did 107 million shares on the way down. GE's going to now make a way down to this $20.37 area. Big Mac, McDonald's. What does Big Mac do? She gets blown away downtown. She gets down 5%. Huge volume, 19 million shares. That everyone's trying to get out the door at the same time, folks. And guess what? The doors are never big enough when that happens. Now, McDonald's is something to really keep your eye on, and the reason being is this. It's possible, and I think this is what we have happening here, that it's a very large ABC down. The reason I'm saying that is that we have a high volume low that's laying out there at $73. McDonald's, the A point on this is $102. The B point is 85, so you get $17. 94, 84, 74. That's $77. Yeah, that's what it's doing. So watch what happens. We came down this week with 42 million shares. It's going after the swing point. The swing point has 40 million shares. It's a clean weekly ABC structure on the way down. And, of course, what ends up happening, when you look at daily, weekly, monthly, when you start talking about ABC structures on the way down on a weekly basis, that is problematic, folks, in a huge way. Let's go over and we take a look at some of the other Dow stocks. Let's go to the bond market first. We take a look at bonds. What we had with bonds out here is this. 30-year bond rejected lower price yesterday, did it with lighter volume. Bonds right now, we're at the 30 years at 147.19. She's going to come back up to the top up here. We'll see how she handles the 150.07. Now, King Dollar is the number. And, what's interesting about King Dollar right now is this. Technically, the dollar is set up really nice. But now what we have is that factually what you have, when these large companies are coming out with their numbers, every one of them is saying that they have currency headwinds. Currency headwinds, folks, is that from last quarter is the dollar, because it was trading at 83 and 84. Let me tell you something.